What's up, Eddie? Hey,
What's up, Sonny Song?
how's
What you
everything
been up
going,
to
man?
this? Everything been doing all right for me. Just a pretty steady
Okay,
day. What about you?
good.
What you been up to?
Everything's going good. Getting ready for the week like always. Last week was pretty eventful, so a lot of things going on there. But everything else is going good, man.
How the new job doing you?
Yeah, man, that's going really good. A lot of training going on, man. A lot of good people, a lot of positive stuff. It's one of those things when you go into a new place, you don't know how you're feeling it out for the first, personalities and all that kind of stuff. But everybody there, man, it's positive and it's uplifting, which is really cool. It's good to be a part of a company like that. So it's cool.
That's good. So, what's up, everybody? This is episode. What episode is this? 2?
Two,
Yeah, this is episode 2 of the Optical Bros podcast. We
Optical
appreciate all the views.
Bros.
We appreciate the views, the likes, and the comments we got.
Yeah,
Not only
the
on we
questions.
didn't get any on YouTube yet, but TikTok is booming. TikTok is booming.
That's because you keep
But
showing up and clipping stuff and make fun of me.
man, look, man, ain't my fault you believe
Yeah.
it. But anyway, we were supposed to have a semi-serious podcast today, but I stumbled upon this other podcast with somebody called Billy Carson, and from me knowing my boy songs, I know he believes in the Bible, right?
Absolutely, man.
Okay. I didn't know. The T-shirt kind of threw me off with the line up there.
What do you mean?
But
No, man, the T-shirt's about the Lion of Tribe of Judah, man. Don't even you just make that's not demonic in any sense of the term.
so listening to that
Questioning
Billy
over my
Carson
T-shirt, what I
dude, man,
believe.
it was the fit. When you got up, I was like, hold on, man, do we still believe? I don't
No,
know.
man, come on now, come on.
But so he was talking now. Some of that stuff to me did sound kind of crazy. Not gonna lie, I don't really
Well,
care
hold
for the
on.
name.
Let's give a background just a little bit because this is the Joe Rogan podcast. So if I remember, I'll put the link to the podcast in the notes for the show on the YouTube channel. So that way people can go and click and check it out themselves because a lot of good information. Billy Carson, he's been doing this since, man, did you hear his background? I mean, he got inundated with chasing after knowledge, when he was 8 years old? So he's been researching stuff from the 70s, back in 77, 75, I think he was talking about when his mom introduced him the concept that there were people here on the earth before, what people have understood when, the scripture to be. So,
Not gonna lie, that part to me, I want to call bullshit on. I just want to say, I just want to call bullshit on. That's bullshit.
that's fine.
I,
But that's what I said. That's how we
huh?
got introduced to the chasing after knowledge, because it's like a lot of people view things, certain ways. Like they believe certain Christians really believe 6,000 years is all the earth is. There's nothing else. If it doesn't work within their 6,000 year paradigm, then they don't hear anything else. And they can't even look at science, so they can't look at archaeology. They can't look at just regular timelines that may even challenge their belief system. And he comes from that point of view because he's looked at all these different religions and everything. So, if people want to study it, like I always believe, study to show yourself approved as a workman, worthy of, rightly dividing the word of truth is where I'm coming from. You got to be a researcher. You got to be a studier. Don't, everybody wants to, that's not true. Okay, that's possibly true, but, understand what you're fighting before you start the fight.
Well,
That's my 2
as
cents.
I've always introduced myself, is I'm open to a lot of stuff where I won't believe it, but if it sounds right, I can kind of get with it. So this dude was talking about, okay, it's something about the Annunaki came down and did all that. That part didn't really get to me. But
What part got to you?
the one part that got me was when he was talking about our human brain was one size, and then within 2 million years it doubled in size. So I'm not a genius. I ain't into this field, but to me that sounds like it's too damn fast. That's too fast. If that's the case, we should have some other monkeys running around here doing more than just being in the Stone Age right now. which they say the chimps.
But see that argument, no, that argument we used to argue, and I used to teach evolution in junior high. In junior high, when growing up, we were sitting there and say, yeah, you came from this and the Big Bang Theory and everything like that. And we were like, hold on a minute. If you're saying that we came from apes, how come we still have apes on the planet?
See,
are you saying that they didn't evolve?
No, this is the part that could it, but it could be this though. Granted, yes, they didn't evolve. I do believe animals adapt. That's why now chimps use
absolutely.
Too.
I believe they evolved too, according to what they need to do.
It's not crazy to think that they could have grabbed a select few, modified them, and then we became what we are now.
Benny, define who you say they are. No, define who you say they are.
Now, that's the thing that gets me. Now, I do believe it was something more intelligent than us. Now, the name,
okay,
it can be Annunaki, it can be whatever you want, because I don't know what the tablets say. Maybe that's what it says, maybe it doesn't, you know. But I do believe that that's kind of makes more sense to me. Because even if you think about it, we always think that there's and then this is the part that got me too now. This is the part that got me. He said that what you saw on the podcast where he said that the Russians was trying to manipulate the DNA of the chimps so they can send them out to war instead. So
out to war. They've been trying to do that.
But so if let's just say in religion, you're told to be like who? Christ-like, who's of course a perfect
like
image
Christ.
of who?
Exactly. Yeah.
Who's a perfect image of his dad, right? So why wouldn't we try to emulate our creator since we're trying to take these lower life forms that are lower than us, and we're trying to splice their shit like they did us. Except the only difference is we're not going for gold. We're going for war. They needed gold. We want the war.
All right. So you asking the question?
Planet of the Apes, bro.
Planet of the Apes, which is it's ironic that that's what's coming out right now. They're pushing all those Planet of the Apes movies also. But also at the same time, I heard another podcast, they were talking about how, there's been an inundation of Bigfoot sightings also at the same time that these movies are coming out. So what's really going on? What kind of message is what, they call it, can call it a psyop, or they can call it not more than just coincidence, because it's crazy. It's more than just coincidence. But let's go back to the original question and the statements that you made, because I'm always going to come from a biblical worldview. I'm always going to come from that direction. Okay. So I believe that these stories and these different cultures, you got the, Indian culture, you have the Egyptian culture, the Moan culture. I think there was another one that he was mentioning, but all these cultures coincide and tell the same type of stories. Somewhere along the line, you're finding a thread that's like, hey, that's just exactly what the Bible said. Or this is what, he was talking about the Annunaki. And for those who don't know what that is, go study it. I mean, it's worth the study. But from my standpoint, because you said they, so I'm going to tell you who they were from my point of view. You all right with that?
I was listening.
Because I know you was listening. I just want to make sure that this is what I'm going to be doing. So from my standpoint, you got the Genesis chapter 6 narrative, which talks about how the sons of God came down and took wives unto themselves and created a race of giants, or the Nephilim. Okay. Now, when you have that story just in of itself, they continue to say that the giants were on the earth in those days as well as after the flood. So these giants has survived, and we don't know how they've survived. And there's different theories out there, but they've been in the earth. But a lot of things that they did during the time that they came down is they did hybrid manipulation, which goes back to what you were saying. How is it, Russia's trying to blend this DNA with ape DNA. Well, when you look at all throughout different cultures and everything, you find out that these demons and these gods were doing that all throughout their history. Every time you get the story, even with Greek culture, you're dealing with Zeus and everything. He was coming down and just banging every woman he can. I mean, he was out there planting his seed everywhere, which goes back to, in my standpoint, I can look at Genesis chapter 6 and say, oh, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what they were doing. And if you want to go deeper than that, one day we can get into it. But the book of Enoch, even though it's not scriptural, what they put it in the canon, even though it used to be in the canon, it gives us a background of what it is that these or they did, and they came down and they began to do the things you were talking about. How is it that Neanderthal, we have all these different species of the Neanderthal, the prehistoric man, and some of them are like this and some of them are like that. And then suddenly you have this other race of beings, are humans, are humanoids, that you can say that are us. And, we, suddenly became manipulated enough that we've now become brilliant? Or was it the fact that there were actually a couple different races that are on the earth, that these other angels and these sons of God that were fallen were manipulating and creating, people to worship him and follow after him and chase, and do the things that they wanted to do their bidding, because you got to ask those questions. If you're going to be speculative and not have the answer, okay, let's take it from all points of view, because that's one thing Billy Carson does. And one thing I can give respect to is somebody who's a researcher. He may not be right. I don't even agree with some of the stuff he said, but at the same time, I haven't researched a lot of stuff he's done. I have the biblical as a foundation. I look at the biblical aspect of things, archaeology. I look at science. I look at how they all line up, what's telling the truth. And then I sit there and have to deduce, okay, is this the truth or is it not the truth? But when it comes to I know who they are. I know exactly what they're doing. They're doing the same thing they did back in Genesis chapter 6. They're trying to manipulate DNA the entire time. They've been doing that because it all goes back to defacing the glory of God in mankind. They want to remove the image of God. What makes you sin? How are we now we're going to create super soldiers? Why are you doing that? Besides,
because
like you said,
don't want
war.
to fight. That is a good idea.
No, we want to be gods. See, that's what the issue is. They're playing God. They're creating things after their own image. When I say image, I'm talking about their own mind. It's the same thing. That, you know what the definition of abomination is?
No, what is it?
It's basically in summary.
I was thinking about the Hulk and Abomination. I'm a fucking fight.
Oh yeah, I know, the superhero. But abomination is you have something like this water bottle, okay? Water bottle right here. It was created to hold water. Well, anytime you begin to use this water bottle and you use it for another purpose other than the fact that it was supposed to hold water, that's becoming an abomination. It was never designed for that. That's basically what it is.
But
that was never designed to be what that is.
Or wasn't it designed to be a container?
Simple.
Even if you don't put water in it, you can still put juice in it or soda in it.
And you can put poison in it too.
Yeah,
so if you put poison in that, yes, it would. It would be. You didn't create. This water bottle was not created to kill you. Somebody abused it and misused the original purpose of that thing, and instead it took a life instead of giving life. That's an abomination. You're taking the original thing and what it was originally created for, and you use it for something other than what it was designed to do.
Or it could have been used for one thing, but then was adapted to use other things, whether poison or not. Because you can take a water bottle, and yes, granted, it was made to do water, but it also can hold soda, can hold juice, can hold poison, liquor.
That's the same thing, though.
So the same.
That's right, and all those things. That's all those things.
I feel like originally they did that for a purpose, but because they spliced it with their DNA, right? Which of course gave us a little bit more knowledge than we did, because for your brain to go double the size, bro, that's a lot, man. That's a lot of knowledge that you got going on. A lot of stuff you're processing.
See, I didn't catch that part of the podcast. Like I said, some of it was boring me.
Yeah, that's what he said. They said even the archaeologists and stuff, they don't understand what happened in that 2 million period. Like, why was there just this giant explosion? And then after that, that's when we really made our boom. And then they also talked about how...
I'll be honest with you.
They also talk about how there's this planet which they just now discovered. So they haven't seen this planet for a while. I don't know when they discovered it. So
Nibiru. They were talking about Nibiru.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's the one that's supposed to be go through our solar system every 4,200 years is what they said, or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's part of another solar system.
So I already know it was like last year or something where they was really talking about it. I never dabbled in it yet. I just now started dabbling into it, right? So I remember them talking about their planet was supposed to get close enough. So if you haven't noticed from last year, bro, we've had a lot of crazy alien shit going down. You know what I mean? Like we've
Absolutely.
had. Okay, so why couldn't that be scouts? So why? Because now again, not a strategist. I ain't never been out war, but I'm pretty sure most of the time you send scouts out first to see what's going on. Am I right?
But see, you're okay. Understand your point of view. Completely understand your point of view. This also has to do with the ancient alien theory too, which that fact that we're
Yeah,
from a space
I believe
brotherhood.
this.
I don't.
I believe
I don't believe
I
that at
believe
all.
that. Now, aliens, well, you can call them aliens because they're not from here, but I do believe that where there was Atlantis. They already have evidence of where Atlantis was. You can see where it's been at, right? So to me, it's not
There's
crazy to
many. Well,
think that they come down, they was imparting that knowledge, right? The people did what they did. Something happened, like, of course, they believe it's called what, the Younger Dryas theory or something like that. That a meteor came, bomb, hit the ice, the shell, wiped them out. Does not sound unreasonable to me. It doesn't. That doesn't sound. And then again, you have
I have
other
not heard that one.
civilizations.
I gotta study that.
Like you have other civilizations where you can obviously see these motherfuckers are way ahead of time. I don't care what nobody says. Them pyramids, man. There's no way. You're telling me that these people drag these big ass blocks, all different sizes, 500 miles, bro. You telling me that they hauled them all the way and said, all right, let's go 500 miles, get one more. No,
No,
bro.
no. I don't know who you keep saying. You telling me? No, I didn't telling you that
No,
because
when
my
I say you telling me,
mindset goes to it.
look, I ain't saying you telling me. It's you telling me. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like you telling me. It's just
So what is it
anybody.
about this is messing your mind up?
Nah, it's just to me kind of confirming. Like I always felt like, yeah, granted, I don't. The Big Bang Theory to me is garbage. Not gonna lie, I don't believe in that. That's garbage. I
I'm gonna
don't.
be honest with the Big Bang
Now
Theory is when God spoke, let there be light.
because
Bang,
now I
biggest
do
bang in the
believe
whole
in
world.
this because I watched this other podcast with Terrence Howard and don't sleep on
Yeah,
that
Terrence
dude.
Howard is a brainiac, dude. That dude is out there.
So it's not crazy to me to believe that where the asteroid belt is at, it was once a planet. It blew up somehow. One of the pieces made it to where it was at. Well, a few pieces made it, formed together. Something happened in the Goldilocks there. That sounds more believable to me. Granted, it
You
was
know what sounds believable to
chanceless.
me though? I believe
What?
that. I believe that the asteroid belt may have been another planet. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
just in my mind, it's like it makes logical sense, and I'm not sure if there's scientific not, but I think there is. I think some people have been coming out and saying there's a possibility that that could have been a planet, and they're saying certain things. And Nibiru or whatever the planet's called actually has something, or Planet X is what they call it. Possibly may
I wouldn't
have.
go.
No, actually, you know
I would.
what? Huh?
I said I would go. If they come down like, yo, you trying to hop over here to Nimbit? I'm
You don't want
gone.
to go, bro.
I'm
You don't want
gone.
to go. I'm
I'm
telling you,
gone.
you don't want to go.
I'm
Yeah, you don't want to
gone.
enter into a whole world. You hear what he said about teleportation? The fact that when they teleport you, you actually
Yeah, yeah,
die
no,
and they reassemble you.
no.
Yeah, that
That was
technology right
a
there. Yeah, you don't want to go with them.
that was a
You
question
don't
I
want
was
to
gonna
go.
ask you if you'd be down for teleporting because I
Let me
couldn't.
go back
Cause
to let's go back to the asteroids though. You were talking about the asteroids. There's actually okay. This must now again going back to a biblical point of view. I believe that when you deal with, and this is, I know you and I have had a conversation about this before about the dragon, okay, and the war in heaven. There was a war in
yeah,
heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. Okay, if you look at throughout the whole universe, our Milky Way, we'll just look at our solar system. Okay, and you look at the fact that Mars looks like it got the natural crap kicked out of it. That is nothing living there. And you got the moon, you got that looks like a battle took place on the moon. You look like
or
Mars got its hold on, no or let me finish. Let me finish. Then you have Saturn, you have Jupiter, you have the asteroid belt. Our whole entire solar system looks like there was raining havoc. There was a massive war going planet from planet to planet. They're uninhabitable. Now, again, this is my logic. I'm not saying it's supported by science or anything like that. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, if we're going to talk about ancient societies, and we're going to talk about societies that are civilizations that don't make logical sense anymore, because in my mind, okay, well, the giants built those. The Nephilim built those. The angels that came down that are now locked underneath the earth. Those are the ones who built those. Their children. They taught them cosmology. They taught them constellation. They taught them casting of spells and the signs of the earth and moon and how all those things operate. These divine being, or what you say they are, or these ancient society or aliens, they weren't aliens. Those were the sons of God. Those would have been Elohim. They're the ones that God was with. He gave them all the secrets of that aspect, which really he tells them are really not secrets at all. You guys got so puffed up and arrogant, you thought that you knew something. You really didn't know anything at all. And those angels came down and they taught people how to do those things. That's what I believe. Because it makes the most sense. Why does it have to be all these alien civilizations? They've been here this whole time. They're not coming from another planet. They may be coming from another dimension, which is just outside of our view. And they can just slip in inside it out within portals. Because even the first peoples of the nation here in our country, they talk about it all the time. So it makes most sense, man. They tell stories about giants that walk the earth that can move over mountains, and they would come and cannibalize their kids, man. Their children, and they would have to fight against them. All that stuff is all throughout just the United States by itself. So for them to sit there and say, well, these are space creatures and these are things. Now, even though these angelic things, the Mahabharata or the Vedas talked about the Vimanas, they were spacecraft. And men were riding around in those things in India. So there's history all over the place that I think that the concept, when I say angels, people think little fairy dudes with wings on their back. But when you look in scripture, these angels, man, every time an angel showed up, people would collapse because it struck fear in them. They didn't know what they were dealing with. And they would always say, hey, man, don't be afraid. Why would you have to be afraid if it was somebody that's just like you and me? These were divine, completely flabbergasting, could not even stand in their presence, individuals that would come. And then you have Ezekiel, and Ezekiel talks about a wheel and a wheel. What does that remind you of? So I think when we're dealing with spacecraft, dealing with vehicles, we're dealing with advanced technology, we can't put it on people, aliens that are coming out. No, I think there are other hierarchies of divine creatures. Absolutely. Because scripture supports it. But at the same time, we got to call it what it is if I'm coming from a biblical standpoint. Not saying I'm right, but that's how I'm looking at it.
Well, first of all, bro, the reason why we believe in aliens is because this is a big-ass goddamn universe, so there's no reason why they wouldn't. The other reason is... I completely agree with you. The reason why I think Mars is fucked up like it is now is because I believe that Mars was once in the Goldilocks area. That's what they call the area where... Oh,
you're going with Terrence.
Hey.
Yeah, I know you got that theology, that doctrine.
But still, to me, that kind of makes sense if he already says that we're moving away from the sun. So granted, it's going to take a long, long, long time before we get there, but there will be a point where we will be too far we will be where Mars is at. And then, was it Venus? Ain't Venus at us before us? Yeah. And then Venus will go where we're at. So why is that not crazy to believe that? Okay, the reason why Mars looks like that is because obviously, now I'm not going to say, I don't believe the part where they evolved and stuff because I feel like some people are dummies. So some dummies probably would stay down there. But it's not. And then for the moon the moon myself, it doesn't look like a battle went on to me and moon. To me, on the moon, it looks like some asteroids or something came and it did its job. It protected the Earth.
See, the one thing, and you may be right. You may be right. There may be some asteroids and stuff, but the one thing I have always dumbfounded me about that asteroid theory is where the hell are the asteroids?
We see
if I take a rock, hold on, no, if I take a rock and I go outside and I throw as hard as I can to the ground, there's some residue of that rock. It could be embedded into the ground, but it's not going to be completely gone.
Time out.
You look at those craters. Look at those craters. Look at those craters. Hold on. Look at the craters, and you go look at nuclear explosions. You go look at bombs that hit the earth, and you go look at these craters that are created, and that my mind goes, that's what that looks like.
Hold on. Wait. I'm still stuck on the part that you think you throwing a rock down to the ground is equivalent to an asteroid.
No, what I'm saying is that would, because where is the asteroid? Now, if you're telling me that there's residue, it still doesn't explain where did the asteroid go.
It could have got knocked out.
Yo, bro, let me tell you something. Every time I see video of an asteroid, even a small asteroid hitting the Earth, yes, it makes a huge dent, but the dang asteroid is still sitting there in the middle of the crater.
But difference is one has gravity, one doesn't.
So you telling me it bounced off?
It could have, or it could have been there, and maybe another asteroid could have came that same day, and knocked them off.
Hey, this is a good conversation. We're not scientifically inclined, and I'm sure people are going to be eating on my lunch and your lunch about it. But like I said, it's a conversation. I don't know. But it just, when I look at it, I'm like, that looks like a war up there.
Like that was just the crazy part when I saw it. I was just like, man, I want to see what Chris thinks. Because to me, some of it makes sense. Other stuff don't make sense. But
see, like, this is where my mind goes. Okay, it makes sense because all of creation is degrading. Ever since the fall. See, my baseline is the fall. Okay, when sin entered in. Okay, that's where I go. When that happened, everything degraded from that point. Everything started dying. Why? Because death entered in. And that includes creation. That includes the solar system. That includes the sun. That includes all those things because in the very beginning, everything was eternal. Why? Because the creator who is eternal created it. So when sin entered in, everything started dying. So yeah, that makes complete sense. Things are getting out of pocket. Why? Because the cosmos is out of alignment since the fall. And my point of view, and the biblical point of view, is when Christ comes back, he puts it all back together again, so to speak. You know, that's my summary. But there's no other reason. And you know this because you studied it. New heaven, new earth.
That's why, see, to me, the other reason that made me kind of think it is because when they found that village that looked as if everybody just died and there was extreme heat there. But that was way back then, though. How y'all gonna generate something to the point you're making glass out there? It was so hot that the sand.
Well, that was also
glass.
That was us. I think that was in the Mahabharata. That's what I'm talking about. That was actually what was the name of that place? Because I try to write down the name of that city. Hold on. What? Mohenjo-daro. That's what it was. Mohenjo-daro. That was one. I think that was the place that we're talking about. Yeah, because the Mahabharata talks about nuclear war that came from the Vimanas. And then also he was talking about Enlil and Enki and all that kind of stuff and everything. But the technology is not new.
Yeah, so
these things aren't new.
To me, it just sounds like we're just doing the same cycle. That's all it is.
There's nothing new under the heavens, man. That's what scripture says. There's nothing new. Man. Everything is a repeat. We're going in cycles.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. I just thought that part was just super cool, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy though, because they can still take a Geiger counter and it's still reading nuclear, radioactive levels on it.
To me,
I was like, yo, that's nuts.
It's like this. It could be like this. Now, I did get this off of a video game, y'all, so don't kill me for it. But to me, it's kind of like this game where they'll let a civilization get to a certain point. And when they get too far, they wipe them out. And they let the other lower. So right now, we got a chance that's in the Stone Age, right? Now, just let everybody know, I'm not talking about this is the end of the world shit. Just letting y'all know. I'm not saying nothing like that. But it's not unreasonable to believe since, hey, look, these boys could just be coming like every 10,000 years, checking to see what's going on. Like, okay, well, because you remember, they always say, they see the most UFO sightings or UAPs, whatever shit they call it, around nuclear blasts, like when they was about to do some dumb shit with nukes
or natural disasters.
So
when there's an immense amount of power or energy that is released, these things start showing up.
exactly. So to me,
Yeah.
I feel like that's them checking in. Well, let's see where they at. Okay, nah, they just let's stop them from doing this real quick. Okay. Let's give them this little
All
bit of
right.
piece of
So
technology.
could all right. Well, that's just like, okay, one of the famous ones is, well, okay, let's talk about Mothman for a second. Mothman was showing up before that bridge completely collapsed and killed all those people too. It was, so, what was that? What is this thing that's showing up before this disastrous event that starts taking place? So
I
are
can tell
we
you,
misinterpreting what UFOs
government
are?
government experiment. That's all that is. That's easy.
You think Mothman is a government experiment?
Yes. I just found out they're
So the
trying to make
government,
some look. They're trying to make super chimps, bro. Ain't putting nothing past them now, man. And we got movies that are supposed to warn us of this, bro.
oh, you
Like,
go back to the Planet of the Apes theory?
like, come on, bro. Are we really trying to drop the simian flu right now? Like, when
No,
are we
man.
gonna
No, I
learn?
mean, think about it. Think about it. Every time destruction comes about is because some man did something stupid. That's why I'm like, we were talking about AI a couple episodes back, our first conversation. Look, if they're trying to manipulate that, and it's actually called transhumanism, where they're trying to take and manipulate human DNA and things along those lines, man, you're starting to sit in there and mess with God's creation like that, man. That's starting to do that. You're doing too much. You need to go
Hey,
ahead and
look,
realize what you're doing. But
Benny's
most of those
taking a
people doing that,
robot
they have no
body.
fear whatsoever.
I'll take a robot body. I swear I would. Just let you know.
You've been watching too much anime.
Nah, but that is wild though, man. It just had me
It's wild.
thinking.
It should provoke conversation. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like about you and me. We talk about those things and wear it out. And we may be wrong as all two left feet, but you know what? We're still going to talk about it because something to me, if we're on a journey of truth and we're trying to figure out what is real and what isn't real, we got to ask those questions because the information's out there. It's out there. It's crazy. It's out there. And we can't be so closed in and boxed in that we don't go searching for the truth.
Oh yeah.
So,
The other reason too is why it sounded right because I was thinking if you look at nature and you look around everywhere, the only piece that doesn't fit is us. Like if you really look at everything, since according to no, listen, if we was built with a plan, why are we the only one? Now this it ain't just the part like we have to have tools because we got monkeys doing that. Fine, I give y'all that, but you put us in the cold, we die. You put us in the heat, we die. We destroy every fucking thing, bro. We destroy everything. We kill species. Why? Because they got a nice horn. Let's kill this giant rhino because it has a nice horn. So to me, that also kind of gives a little bit of evidence to maybe something did mess with the natural flow of things, man. Because had they
no.
not messed with us,
I mean,
had they
I
not
understand
messed
that.
with us, bro, just and then
We're made to
like I was
conquer,
saying,
dude.
and also
Man
like
is
I
made to
said,
conquer.
well, I didn't say
That's
this
part of the
part, but
fallen
also
nature.
we've always had this obsession of gold, even before gold was even worth anything. We've always just want gold. If you get
So
gold,
you're
you got it.
equating because people like gold that they're aliens.
Yes.
Okay, that is a
I
weak
said that
ass
hey, I said
hypothesis.
I said
That
that
are you
super
serious?
confidently, didn't I?
Because I know you
Nah, I
sure
don't
did.
believe that.
Because it's not just gold; it's greed. That's the root of everything. They want to be able to have. They can't have enough, so they're going to go after whatever is valuable enough to sit there and obtain. Because that greed is going to make them more power. It's all about greed and power. You should know that. But it's like you
But
telling me because the fascination of
even
gold.
before it had monetary value, even before it had that type of value.
So you believe
Now I don't know
because
why
you
we had it.
saw some
Now,
stuff on
now
YouTube.
I'm an expert. They do it on TikTok, so I can do it.
Now, I'm just gonna ask the question because I kind of want to know where my brother's head's at. So
Nah, it
because
just sounded real good to me though. It sounded like it made sense to be honest with you. I don't believe
Yeah,
you
but
until
sometimes what
now.
sounds good doesn't mean it's true.
Hey, once I see one Annunaki, though, I will say, ha, that shit was real. You see, I'm prepared.
Yeah, but what do you think an Anunnaki is, man? Because when you look at it, there's stories of giants all over the world. I
To
mean,
me,
and these, I mean,
I don't think it's like anything like super giant planet. I just think it's an alien race from somewhere who happened to find this good little planet and messed around with it. That's just what I believe. We had something they
hmm.
wanted. Originally, their people was doing it. Or like you said, that greed came up or whatever happened. So they was like, since our people won't do it, why don't we do like the I can't say it because we're on YouTube. Why don't we do it on the wink wink people and get us some wink wink people and they can do the job for us? Think about it, man.
No, I've already studied this, man. This goes back to Stitch and stuff. You know, this goes back. I've been studying that for a long time. The whole theory before Ancient Aliens TV show ever came out and where they got all that information from, because I kept wondering about certain things. When I read through scripture, I'm like, where did people come from? You know, I know that God says he created Adam and Eve, but there, you know, wait a minute. This some of this stuff, where do all these people come
See,
from all
like
over the
that
place?
part
Because they
too.
did.
See, like that Adam
But
and
see
Eve
that
part too. That part kind of throws me off too because you already know how I feel about it. Meaning, it's just hard for me to believe that if this was your plan, right? Why do we need to go to heaven? That doesn't make sense to me. That don't make sense to me.
well,
You
why doesn't it
know
make
what I
sense
mean?
though?
Because if, like, again, y'all, we're not experts here, so we just be talking. But anyway, if you're this all powerful, whatever, why would you? That's why, remember, I went from being a Baptist to being a Jehovah's Witness, was because that was the part that always got me was, what would be the point for us to go up there if you're all powerful? So you're telling me that you had this whole plan, they messed up, and you said, ah, I'm good. I'm just sending them up here with us, man. And also, Benny ain't trying to
That
sing.
don't even make sense. I don't understand that what you just said.
You know how they always say you die, you go to heaven or hell? At least that's how it was for me growing up. When I was in the
Okay.
church I grew up, it
Yeah.
was you die, you go through the pearly gates or whatever, and you meet blah blah, you do all that good stuff, you sing all the
Okay.
time, you know.
Which
To me,
all
that's what
lies.
always threw me. Yeah,
Yeah.
see
You're not
that
going to be
that
singing all
always
the
threw
time.
me off.
No, just kidding. You're going to be working.
I ain't working.
You're going to be working. If you think
Benny,
you're going to
hey
make it to
look,
heaven, you're not going to be doing anything. No,
look.
you got a job up there.
This dude, it might, I might, I don't know if I might go down there, but if I do, I'm gonna put an application in, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got to be here. You know, I can kind of help y'all. You know, you might be low. You know, we got a lot of people coming down here, bro. You
Brother,
got
you
to
need
be
to get a
recruiting.
better understanding. That's all it is with you. You get understanding.
You remember
Because
I
my
used to always say
mind,
that. I used to always say that, man.
everybody's going to be praying for you. We're going to be like, we pray for Benny's soul. That's what I'm going to pray.
Nah, Benny, I'm gonna tell you now, Benny getting reincarnated, bro.
You are not getting
That's
reincarnated because if you do, I'm going to kick your tail if you get incarnated while I'm
Benny.
still alive. I'll be like, let me
Benny's
find him.
gonna live. No, not now. After I go on, man. Benny's gonna live forever. That's what I'm
Yeah,
gonna do.
only if you know Christ, bro. That's my point of view. But
But yeah,
anyways,
when
you
we
know
was
that.
talking, you
That's
said
what,
something about teleport. Would you use a teleporter? What's up with that?
heck no. Why am I going to use a teleportation device? I don't need to go anywhere.
But I'm just saying,
Not,
what people
after
like?
he described what teleportation, and that's a good segue to get off that topic, by the way. That was pretty smooth. You kind of avoid it, going into
Yeah,
teleportation.
yeah.
Teleported right out of that conversation. But
Beam me up, Scotty.
um,
Oh,
no, when he described that and what it is about breaking down the molecules of an individual's entire existence and you know, the DNA and how it can fit on a hard drive now. Hold on, I wish I had a hard drive. You know,
oh, I know
if
what
you're
you're talking
talking
about.
about something this big, yeah. And he says now petabyte or petabytes of whatever that is, amount of data.
A
And that's now
thousand
what is
terabytes.
capable. No, it's more than that. It was
Now
more than what he was talking
he
about.
said a
And
petabyte
then
was a
and
thousand
so it's
terabytes.
basically the essence. It's the essence though that you die when you teleport and you get re-put back together at the other end. Yeah, that's crazy to me. No, thank you.
Yeah, I was the same way. I was like, I wouldn't be the original
Nope.
because when he said
It's not
that,
even close to what Star Trek we've been watching all these time in Star Trek. Star Trek is a lot.
I've always thought
Because
that. I always was like, how are they doing that? There's no way.
because
The only way for that
you know
to
what?
work
You know what's
is
so funny? I'm gonna tell you who told the truth about it though. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I'm telling you right now. I remember as a kid that it was something about them. I forgot what kid it was. One of the bad little kids who was on that show, and they got into a teleporter and they looked above it and they said, "This is all broken up into a million pieces." And there was the kid going across the tubes or going across the airways. They told the truth about that, and if the kid came up on the other side, I was like, "Yo, that's insane." That's exactly what it is. You get Rick completely broken down, and another version of you comes out on the other side.
And the thing is,
yeah, you keep that.
What if they put something in you when they come back too?
Hey man, let me tell you something. People open doorways and portals all the time. You go into atmospheres and stuff like that, and you don't know what that is. Yeah, something's attaching itself to you.
So what about this? All right, no teleporters. What you seen Futurama, right?
Yeah, I've watched Futurama. I've watched
Would you
it.
do that tube thing? Would you hop in the tube and go floop, and it take you where you need to go?
Like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when the person got stuck in the tube.
Augustus floop, your big old stinking and kaboom.
Look, if I won't go jump out of a plane and parachute, what makes you think I'm getting into a tube? Not doing it.
Because
not doing it, man.
Parachute means you're gonna hit the ground. A tube is gonna take you to your destination. What do you mean? That's completely.
And you could get stuck. And you could get stuck right in the middle of that tube. No, thank you. Nope. Woo.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it neither. Just because I know. Only reason why I wouldn't do it is because I would get sick. That's the only reason.
Nah, I can't even think about it. I'll be honest with you. That's too much. That's way too much.
Because actually, you know what? I think it's story time. Y'all want a story?
About you going through a tube?
No, between motion sickness, because that's basically the same thing.
Okay.
Anywho, here's how it goes. So, this is the time I realized I suck with when it comes to motion sickness or boats. Because you remember that time when I went to that casino boat? Oh, you weren't around when I did that, did you?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, perfect. It's the first time you're hearing this.
See, I'm gonna be honest with you. You got me last time in your story. I don't believe nothing you say coming out your mouth right now.
Just 100% real story. 100% real story.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what I say? If I say no bullshit, no bullshit. It's 100% real story. So I go to this casino boat, right? It's I think it's in either Wilmington or South Carolina, one of them places. But you can go in there and you get on a boat, right? The boat will take you I think it takes you like 10 miles out into the ocean, and that's when you can start gambling because you're in international waters, right? So I go up there, I get on a boat, and I was already kind of iffy about it but I was like, well, I've been on the Staten Island ferry before, so there's no way it's that much different, right? So I get on it. Everything is going cool, man. Like everything.
No, hold on real quick. Where were you at again? What waters were you in again? What coast?
It was it had to be, I think it was South Carolina. I'm pretty sure it was South Carolina.
Optical,
you start in the big ass river and then they take you out into the ocean.
And then they take you out to sea. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sitting up there. Everything is fine, man. Cool. Sitting out there looking at the waves. We get out there. I go inside and it's time to start gambling. Right? So, well, first I had to give me something to eat because you can't gamble on an empty stomach. You know what I mean? You got to have something to eat better. You know what I mean? So I buy this ham and cheese sandwich they got. What it looks like a damn school ham and cheese sandwich. Like it wasn't a tasty looking sandwich, right? So I get that, I eat it, and I'm like, all right. So I go and I sit down, and if anybody that knows me, y'all know I don't gamble. I don't do that type of stuff. So I don't throw a lot of money in. So I play a couple games. I lose some money. I'm only gambling with $10, which was kind of silly because the trip was like a 6-hour trip. And I was like, if I spend my $10, I ain't spending nothing else.
You got $10 to go. Wow. You weren't expecting much at all.
I wasn't. I just went for the
You
experience.
just
So
people gonna be like, what? Why did you even go? Why did you go
for the experience. Have you been on a
for
yacht?
$10
Hey,
experience?
hey, have you been on a yacht for $20? Because I did. I
No,
got
I've
on a
been on a
yacht for
yacht
$20.
before, and I didn't have to spend any money on that yacht. I've been on a yacht before.
You and your fancy friends. But yeah, high as the diddy motherfucker. Anyway, so I go to
No,
this
man.
movie, right? I go to this one part, and I'm playing the game, and I'm super confused. I don't know how I'm winning. I just know it keeps spinning, free spin money. My $10 had turned into $80, right? So
So you're on a
after,
roll.
yeah, so I got to use the bathroom. It was just number one, y'all. So I just had to go use number one, right? So I go. As soon as I get in the bathroom songs, this is when the shit hit the fans. And still, y'all, it was one. Shit didn't really hit the fan. I gotta say, it really didn't. Okay, it was a figure of
You just
speech.
use those women. Use that phrase in this story is just ridiculous.
I know, but so I go in there, man, and I'm about to. Now, mind you, I'm on the. I'm pretty sure it's the front of the boat, right, bro? Giant wave hit us, right? As soon as it hit me, I was like, "What the
Oh,
fuck
you
was that?"
lost it. You
Right?
lost it. Yep.
Instantly started feeling nauseous, but I was like, you know what? It's all right. I just need to get my sea legs together, right? So another big wave come, bro. When that second big wave come, I was no good. So I started
Here
feeling
comes
super
the
hot.
hurling.
Nah, it didn't. I started feeling hot, so I was like, well, maybe I just need to get out of the bathroom. So now I go back to my well, some some stinking ass motherfucker took my damn machine, man. As soon as I got up to use the bathroom, so I went to a different machine.
So somebody took your
Right?
machine, snooze, you lose.
Yeah, just cause he saw me win. I saw him eyeing my machine. But anyway, I go and I started playing right, and then all of a sudden, songs. I'm sitting there like, oh, I'm definitely about to throw up. I know this is
Oh,
about to happen. So I get up and I just start walking to the bathroom, and I'm thinking, Lord, I know we ain't on the best of terms, bro. I know I don't even talk to you like that. But
you dumb man.
please, please do not let me throw up in front of all of these people because it'll be a long ride back. So I go to the bathroom. As soon as I get there, man, all of my whole ham and cheese sandwich come up. And then something else came up that I don't even remember eating, but I don't know where that stuff came from. And the funniest thing is, right by the bathroom door was this little. Now, the thing about me is, I'm a prideful person, meaning most of the time,
Yeah.
if I can't figure something out, I'll just go without. So, right outside the door, they had the medicine you can take, but it was so old
Oh,
looking.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
I had no idea how to turn it on. Like I didn't know how to get it out. And also I'm in a crisis mode, so it's not like I'm about to sit here trying to figure this fucking machine out before I'm gonna throw up, right? So after I get that whole debacle out my way, right? I come out the bathroom. The bartender looks at me and says, he gave me a ginger ale. And he was like, "Don't worry, bro. I know that walk right there. It is not about to feel good."
I know that. That walk of shame.
So I know what that was. You might want to drink this and just go up front and lay down, man, because you're done for the day.
You're done. You're done. That's it.
Man, I swear
Jeez,
that was
man.
look, that was a horrible experience for me, bro. Like that fear
No
of
taking
throwing
you
up
on a
in front
boat.
of no, that's another thing, man. I done found out that's my weakness, man. The Staten Island Ferry fooled me, bro. The Staten Island Ferry fooled me, bro. Don't get on that and think you're gonna tackle the real waves, cause those ain't real waves. The other ones were real waves, bro. Like,
And you were out there, yeah,
man.
because international waters was what 24 miles out, I think. So you were out there, and those waves rocked you, man.
And that was the
those are the
other
real
thing.
waves.
That was the other thing that made me feel uncomfortable too, because I was looking and I'm like, hey, look, South Carolina looks so small. It's so small. Yo, we can't even see it no more. Where
You that far out?
I started grabbing a volleyball and named it Stan, bro. I thought I was on Castaway, bro.
Yeah, friend on the boat. You gonna be my friend?
We've been out here for 7 hours.
7 hours.
But that is, I ain't gonna lie, man.
Woo.
When I was out there, I truly understood how scary it would be to be out there, bro. Like when you really
Yo,
look
man,
around,
that
it's like
sky is different. Yeah, you don't see nothing out there.
it's hot too, man. Like there's no shade. Like why can't we have some trees hanging out the ocean, bro? It's too hot for this. But that
That's
mess
crazy.
that was crazy. It was crazy, scary, and really bad experience at the same. They gave me a shirt though. They felt so bad they gave me a shirt.
You survived, so they gave you a shirt.
They gave me a shirt. It was
Gave
like
you a shirt.
big
I went on this trip,
gems.
and all I got was throwing up. All I did was throw up on this
No, it was
on
just
this
an
trip.
advertisement shirt. Big Jim's Casino or some shit like that. But that was horrible. That was I would never do that again. It was cool. And then when I went to South Carolina, I found out I don't really care for helicopters neither, man, because I got on a helicopter too. And it was fun while I was on it, but at the same time, this dude was flying reckless. One, the wind was blowing too hard. Why did we not cancel these flights?
Yeah, you hang it up. Nope.
And
Sorry,
then
not doing it.
he wanted to come and like when we were leaving, I swear, bro, I thought we was about to hit the power line, man. I thought I was about to he was about to final destination me, man. You know what I mean? Like hit the power line, flip around the propeller and stuff.
Sorry.
Over.
Nope. Nope. Not doing
Yeah,
it.
it was
It would
wild.
take a lot for me to get up there. It's got to be clear weather.
And then he wanna come try to sit back and talk to me. No, bro, don't talk to me. Look forward and pay attention to what you're doing, man. Don't talk to me. Talk to me when we on the ground. Like, you are wilding, bro. How's your day going? It's gonna be all right as long as you get us back to the
Yeah,
ground.
don't worry about my day. I want to make sure you're doing your job.
Yeah, somebody just got hurt on the slingshot thing. I'm on this helicopter like a fool.
Where did you go to get on a helicopter?
South Carolina. They offer helicopter flies. They'll fly you around. They'll fly you around
Man.
the area and stuff. But yeah, that's also where my
Nope.
When I remember for a long time I was talking about going skydiving. Yep, that broke me from skydiving right there because if I'm this high and I'm scared, there's no shot I'm jumping out of the airplane.
No way. Not doing it. I'm serious. I had somebody tell me that. Yeah, let's go skydiving. Nope. Sorry. If I was meant to fly, I would have wings. That's how I feel about it. Nope. There's certain things. I am not an adrenaline junkie. I'm not going to go running after things just so I can get a rush. Nah, I'm good. I mean, the most I will do is maybe do some mountain climbing, rock climbing and stuff like that. But even that, I'm out of practice. So there's no way.
Man.
No way.
I just
Not
want
at
to
my
say
age.
something, man. Everybody, just don't take no offense to what I'm about to say, but sometimes you say some Caucasian stuff, bro.
Yo, man, are you kidding me?
I'm gonna cut it out. I just had to.
Are you kidding me?
I said don't take no offense to it, man. Are they not Caucasians?
That comes out your mouth.
Who climbs? Who do the most climbing? Come on, son.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to get canceled.
They're the same people. They're the same people that discover stuff. Hey, look, they do a service, man. They discover stuff for us. Cause if it was up to me, I'm not discovering nothing. There's no way if I see something like, whoa, what was that? Oh, let me go check and see what that's about.
What is it? What is it you will do then? What is it that you're gonna do? Because most of the time you're not gonna go out there. You're not an outdoorsy type of person. You're gonna be sitting at home.
What would I do? I would just not know that existed. It just wouldn't exist to me. Lions.
You
What's
have to go find
I've never
out.
seen a lion. Yeah.
No,
Unless somebody, if nobody
like all
else,
the horror flicks in the whole wide world. Let's go into this shed with all the knives and everything.
look, that's like That's like Christopher Columbus coming to me. Hey, Benny. Hey, I got this plan. We're gonna go see the new world. You want to hop on this boat? No, I'm fine. You can go find
I'm
the new world.
not gonna-
I'm not gonna
I'm-
go. What is wrong with you? You tripping? What's over there? I don't know, but we're gonna find out. No, you're going to find out. We're not finding out. Just send me a letter with the pigeons, see if it can make it over here and let me know how it went. Cause Benny ain't going. Mm-mm. I'm not.
They ain't
I'm
gonna
not
stay
the
home.
one. I am not the one, bro. Is if something new comes across my path, I will slowly just close my door, lock my door. I didn't see nothing, and I'm gonna walk on back in my.
You that brother. You that brother that would leave people hanging. Oh no. No,
Like,
I'm sorry. I'm not at home. You may be knocking on my door. I'm not answering it.
like, just
I'm
like when
not
we
gonna
was
be
talking
helping
about,
you.
just like we was talking about the zombie thing, bro. If I open up my door and I see people getting tapped, somebody look at me, help me. Close,
No,
lock,
that's
lock.
you.
Hey, I don't
Lock
think we're going to the store. I feel like I'm pretty sure the store is closed.
the store closed. We're
Who's
done.
that bang? Who's that banging on the door? Nobody. Don't even worry about it,
Nobody.
man. You know them JWs, man. They're aggressive.
That's funny. Did you do a lot of that too, man? When you were part of JW?
Oh yeah. I ain't even gonna lie, I enjoyed it, bro. I used to have a good time doing it, man. Cause you used to meet like a lot of different type of people. You get like the
What's the
argumentative type.
craziest one that you dealt with? Have you ever dealt with like a crazy one that just was like, yo,
Oh
that was insane?
yes, I remember one time it was me and I'm not gonna name him, but my homeboy.
Yeah.
We was going out like afternoon on a Sunday. It was normal, you know. I went to this lady house. I knocked on her. She opened the door and she said, "I knew you was gonna be here." And I was like, "What?" Yeah, I saw it in my visions. And she's like, "God
Oh,
told me that you was
here we
gonna
go.
be here." And I was like, "Okay, well, did he want you to talk about Bible?" Yes, he did want me to talk. And then she just started speaking tongues, bro. And I'm gonna tell y'all
Oh,
that
she freaked you
shit,
out.
man. She started saying something, and she just started writing on the thing. And I was like, I looked at my boy, and I was like, well, I just started like slowly backing up, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure. And then she was like, but then he came into my dreams and he said I got to go save somebody, so I'm gonna have to go. I have to go save. And I'm like, well, you know, I hope you do well with that. I got you. I just started slowly backing up, and we got in the car, and I was like, what was that,
Oh,
man? What did we just see?
I hate to tell you, but that would be a great YouTube channel.
Bro,
Stories of JW going through when they're knocking on the door.
bro, listen, I'll tell you
I would be watching that crying.
that was
Oh,
so
that's
wild.
hilarious.
Cause she was just standing on the porch when we was driving off, bro. Like, I don't know what she was writing on her little pamphlet thing, bro, but
Like one of those horror flicks, wasn't it?
it
It was
was
one of
that,
those people.
it was literally that day. It was like, well, I'm pretty sure we've only been out here about 30 minutes, but I think I'm done
We're
for the day.
done.
You think, let's,
I'm done.
yeah, let's do something else.
Yeah.
I think I'm
The real
hungry.
Benny came out. Nope. No, thank you. We're not doing that again.
Yeah, you sus, man. I'm gone. I don't trust it. If I can't explain it, bro, I don't trust it. I'm not about it. I am
I
not
don't
about
care.
it, man.
You got. I could be wrong. I'm not trying to be offended because I'm just not. But I know that when you were part of that organization, you had to go out that and you get a point system, or you try to get as many people in, and that's how you get to heaven or something like that, right? That's how you guys get in. Is that how
No,
that whole works? I don't know.
no, you made that up. I don't know who told you that. 'Cause whoever told you that, don't ever
That
listen
up.
to them. No, that's not what they thought. The reason why they go out and they do door to door isn't because of that. They do it because you remember somewhere in the Bible it said faith without works is dead, but he also said you
Yeah.
need
So
to
they
go
feel like
out
that.
and
That's them sharing.
yeah,
Yeah. That's them
because
believing. Okay.
because the
Understood.
thing is, it's not just them that did that. Because when I used to go to that old church, they used to do it, but they used to call it soul winning. So they used to do like different type of stuff.
Oh, so
It's
they
just
just called it something different.
yeah, most people do it, and then you
I
got the
got you.
boys that be on the bikes.
JWs are more known for it just because they always come like literally white shirts, name tag. Almost used to, as when I was younger, man, and that movie Children of the Corn came out. They scared the hell out of me when I see him coming to the door. I ain't gonna lie. I was
First of
like,
all,
yo,
they never wore
what in the
name
world?
tags. We don't wear
The
they
one
don't wear
that
name
came out,
tags.
they did. They did. Always when I was growing up, they had a little thing right here that it was black, it had a name tag, or blue, and it had their name on it. And it was always the same white shirts. It was always the same. They would come 2 by 2. They were always coming 2.
You sure that weren't Mormons?
Dude, I don't remember.
Because they don't
I
walk
remember.
up.
I was like when I was a kid.
They used to pull up in the car. Nobody ain't walking nowhere.
Who, the Mormons?
Nah, the other ones.
Why are you talking like the Mormons are mafia? Right up on you guys.
Nah, the Mormons, they ride the bikes, right?
Up on the JWs.
Nah, the Mormons ride the bikes.
We're gonna have a gang war.
The JWs pull up, bro. They pull up. Hop out, go.
You may be right. I may have mixed them up. I'll be honest with you.
You did. Yeah, you did. Because I'm gonna tell you.
Yo, I remember telling a pastor that one time. No, check this out. I remember telling a pastor, me and a pastor, and of course I was rebellious as all get out. I'll be honest with you. This one church I literally got kicked out of. But I had told him, I said, this doesn't make sense to me because I had just come fresh off the streets, and I was dealing with gangs and all that kind of stuff back when I was younger and everything. And, I understood territory. You don't come over here on 6th Street. You don't go over there. This is our area over here. That whole same typical thing you always hear growing up when you grow up in the hood. But when I went into the church, man, I had to tell the pastor one day, I was like, look, I don't understand something, man. I came out of the streets to get away from gang wars and stuff like that and turf and territory. I said, y'all be talking about each other like, man, this is another gang up in here. You don't get along with this organization because of this organization, that organization. We don't have fellowship with those people. We don't do this. I'm like, hold on a minute. My mind could not wrap around it because it was the same exact thing to me. It was the same kind of mess that was going on. I was like, this was when I was younger, but I was like, I don't get it. I just didn't understand it. And then, man, I really, really saw it again when I was older, man, when I went to the South. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was like, yo, this is insane. I'm like, whoo, this is a whole nother experience for me. I had to learn a lot, man. It took a lot. I was learning a whole lot.
But even though I don't do it no more, it was pretty cool, though. I ain't gonna lie, because back then, bro, I wasn't as cool as I am now. Like, I got cool after I got out. Like, I was like normal cool. But then when I got out, I became super cool. It was like I was living in a bubble, and then they took me out the bubble.
No, I remember that though. Because I would remember because when that happened at the tail end.
Yeah.
When we were working for that one company. So yes, it was.
When I met you, I was all the way in it. I was all the way in it when I met you.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. I was there when you got out of it.
Oh yeah.
Because that whole scenario. Yeah. I was there for that. Remember, I used to get so mad and pissed off because of that. Because of how that whole scenario happened to you. I was like, man, that's not right. I couldn't get out of it. In my mind, but you were like, it's all right, son, it's all right. I'm like, nah, it's not right. But, but you understood it better than I did because you understood, what you were going through.
I didn't hold anything against them, personally. I held against a couple people on a personal level.
Yeah, understandable.
I didn't really. I knew what the consequences were. I just didn't care. I was like, I know. It was funny because I said something.
And then after that, you did not care anymore.
Yeah.
You didn't care anymore. After that, there was a season there. I was like, man, am I just your counselor? Is this why I have to sit there and tell you don't do that? I mean, we have to go through some situations. You may want to think about that, Benny, before you do that. Benny, hold on a minute, man. You're not going to do that, are you really? I remember there was like 9 or 10 months there. I was like, Benny, bro, you got to slow down for a second, man. You're kind of going crazy. He said, man, I'm free now. I was like,
hey, man.
I was like, yo.
It was funny, too, because the first thing I did was I got me a tattoo. That was the first thing I did.
What tattoo was that one that you got?
My Libra tattoo, because I'm all into astrology and the signs. Not really. I don't. I think it's stupid. But I just got a cool looking sign. That was I gotta always take my stuff back because people might believe that I really do believe in it. Because as I've already proven, I can make anybody believe anything.
Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. That's why from every story you tell from now on, I'll be like, disclaimer, don't believe you.
But now
Could be true.
that was crazy though. The transformation between when I was like that to how I am now, it was crazy. It was like night and day transformation, bro. And
Oh, absolutely. I remember that.
the crazy thing is, that was when I felt like for a long time I didn't feel like I was myself. And then when I finally did like that, I was like, well, hey, Benny, where have you been at this whole
Where
time?
have you been?
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
I had to go put Benjamin. I had to go sit
That's
down.
the same way. Well, that can be, I mean, that's just not that what you went through to, but that's sometimes just, people go through that when they're on a certain job or they get in a certain relationship, man. If you don't cut away things that kind of make you lose yourself, man, it's when you finally get
But the
free, man,
cool
it's a
thing was,
whole nother reality.
but the thing is, it opened my eyes. That's when I became so open, like I am now. Is it opened my eyes to that there's different
Not
stuff
all of
out there.
it's a good open though.
So I started like not even like my escapades. Is that what they call it? Escapades? No, that's what they said on what's the name? I didn't
You
want to
went
say
on a
the
lot of
other one.
escapades.
I didn't want to say the other one
Yeah, I'm glad you did it.
because
Yeah,
there's somebody,
escapades.
some
Good
people,
word.
some people, some people watch this. I don't want to just talk like that. I know who you are, but yeah, I ain't talking about that. But I'm just talking about like it did open my eyes to whereas I started talking to so many different people and I started learning about different stuff. So then I started dabbling into, let me see what Chris Sony talks about. Well, let me see what this is about. So that was the only thing.
Well, that's good because I mean, like I said, I mean that's a good positive thing that can come out of that, man. Seriously.
Yeah, it was super cool. It really was. It was a good experience. I've done a lot of stuff. That was like a long version of Dungeons and Dragons. That's what it was. My first. That's all it was, man. It just took me a
No,
long
but during
time.
that time though, you were a scholar though. That's one thing I know about you. You were a scholar back in that time. You
Yeah, I did.
studied things, boy. We went days and days over topics. So I
That's
remember
why I
that.
wouldn't. I wouldn't mind if somebody come up here and want to talk about something because I joke around a lot though. But I do know the Bible pretty well. Like I really do. I just don't like talking about it all the time.
That's why I be looking at you sideways because I mean like it doesn't make sense. Well, because Benny, you already know the truth, man. That's what gets me about you. You already know the
That's
truth.
why.
You
That's why it
studied it.
doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me because I'm like, I have studied this for a long time and it's never made sense to me. Like it just never clicked to me. Like I don't know. Maybe because I don't just blindly follow
No,
stuff.
you just gotta ask God to help you with your understanding. That's it. That's how
I
simple
did
that
that.
gets.
I did that.
Well, then keep asking.
Nah, I'm good now because now I'm trying to be an Anunnakian. That's what I am. This is
Oh,
2024 and I
yo, no, you're
self-identify
not, bro.
myself
No,
as
no. Yo, and I know you joking
this.
because God
This
knows this
look.
podcast would
This
have to
is
end.
2024. I am officially Annunnakian, y'all.
Yo,
I'm going back to my roots, man. That's why I'm going back,
oh,
man.
you tripping
Where?
now? You
Hey,
tripping on levels that like look.
well, don't beam me up, y'all, but I'll
You
hop
better
a
fix
ride.
that because there's some people out there that are going to sit there and say, "Did you hear Benny's an Anarchian? Did you
I am.
hear?" I mean, like, yo, no.
Hey, 2024. If people can be trees and dogs and all this other stuff, I could be
Oh,
Annunnakian,
this
bro.
is how you. This is going to be your. This is how you're going to be identified. You're going to identify as an Anarchian. Yo, I am so done with you right now, man. We can hang it up. We're done today. I'm so through with you right now.
But all right, man. But everybody, thank you if you did watch this. Thanks for watching the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and hopefully we get some
Yeah.
clips out of this.
Yeah, hopefully we get some clips in it, and don't take what Benny says with a grain of salt. He doesn't want to be an Anunnaki.
Speak for
Because
yourself.
if I
I
start
don't
seeing
want to
that
be.
trend,
Hey, I don't want to be. I'm already there. I've already self-identified.
you're
I've already
all
self-identified.
right.
Okay.
Yo,
All right, man. I'll holler at you later.
I'll let you later. You guys have a good one. Thank you very much for joining us. Peace out, guys.